So, let me just make sure that these are low enough challenge rating.
I can change the challenge rating if you really want to summon them. Don't worry about that.
Oh no, I'll just make them weaker if... Oh, fucking perfect. Oh, you are in luck, sir.
Ooh.
Please be like moles and have them just dig through the wall.
You mean like my backup emergency familiar system?
Yeah, do you remember how bad of a plan that was?
Yeah,
Well,
I rolled a critical 1.
Do you remember how I should mention, do you remember how you thought it was a great plan and then it wasn't? I think that's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
So roll. I will actually roll initiative for them. Here we go. Pretty sure I have it here. Yeah, there they are. There they are. I think I need a token, don't I? So, an interesting thing happens, Kree. The room kind of falls silent to you, and you hear voices that sound like murmurs, almost as if you were on like a crowded city street. And this is only you that has this happen. You could tell like the thug is still like baring his teeth and gonna attack you, but as you hear this, you see tendrils of this wispy smoke begin to spew in from the arrow slits that are in the walls, and they begin to form into these creatures that are roughly about the size of like a small dog. And as they kind of develop, you realize that they are what you have summoned, and they appear to be giant rats.
Oh, perfect.
But the sound, once you realize what these are and you lock onto them, begins to fade and comes back into, like, we hear the lowering of the murmurs of people on a busy city street talking, and the sounds of clamor and battle rise again. No, not spiders. I'm gonna make you summon spiders if you ever get the spell again. That would be the best. And yeah, I think that... Let me type in rat here because I know I oh yeah, I mean we'll just use the standard issue, what I've always used for giant rats always. Oh, hello, giant
for
rat
some
token?
reason, I didn't realize how perfect that would be in the city we're in.
Yeah, I know. That's what made me think of it actually. Giant rat token, please.
There you go. It's right here.
Can you ping it? I lost it.
It's underneath the City of the White Wolf.
Oh, yeah, well, that's cool. It's not on my screen, so, oh. It's on this screen, but not on this screen. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna refresh this real quick. Bye.
Jordan, no.
Yeah, I could see it on, one of my screens, but my GM, account could not see it for whatever reason. There we go. Oh, hello, rat. I'm just gonna put one to represent them. I'm not gonna make 5 of them.
That's fine.
Because that would be silly. Giant Rato. Very low HP, very low AC, but man, can they pack a punch in, I don't know, maybe, let's say, a pack? So let's go ahead and roll initiative for them. Just real quick, like. Giant Ratu. Okay, not bad. They will go on a 17. Which technically is like towards the end of the order at this point because you're at an 11. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You have summoned Zem. Anything else you'd like to do?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, but I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay, alright. Fair. So the thugs are gonna get to go here.
That's fine.
And I think that their biggest threat here is gonna be Farron. To be fair, he's a giant, raging, reckless monkey. So I think they see, like, they all watch you pick up their friend, use him as a club to bash their other friend. So I think that's going to draw the ire of basically all of them, except for the one that's engaged with Kree in this moment. So you're going to take 2 melee attacks, or 2 melee strikes, and then 3 range strikes here, Farron. And the ones that are melee,
A little distracted.
yeah, the ones that are melee, they get 2 attacks. So they are humans. They are things.
You're gonna take a lot of heat, boy.
At least I'm taking the pressure off the actual army that's attacking.
And they do, right, you're definitely giving them a boost here. They do get advantage because of pack tactic, and also because you're reckless as fuck. So first 2 attacks. Okay, first one missed, but the second one hit, I believe, right? 16 hits that form. Okay. Do you want to roll me a Constitution save real quick, just to be sure, just to be certain?
13, I'm fine.
No problem. Second 2 attacks. Game, why you do this today? Alright, so 1 hit again. Roll that con save.
-6.
Unless you're at low, I don't... Oh no, you're still good. You still got some health. Ooh!
Oh my.
So yeah, the second one, like you're fighting him off, and then the guy whose, like, shoulder is kind of hurt, he raises his good arm and just, like, clocks you good under the chin, and you kind of see stars for a moment. And when you, like, shake your head, you're back in Farron form.
No.
Alright, Farron. Now.
To be fair, that lasted a hell of a lot longer than it should have.
Oh, yeah.
True. But Farron, remember, don't be a bitch.
Yeah, so
I don't think you should say that to the person who's nearly
Don't
died.
get credit. That's all I'm saying. Just don't get credit.
You shouldn't say that to the person that's nearly died nearly every single encounter.
One with full health.
Hey, I mean,
So the 3 crossbowmen, they kind of, like, look at each other, but then they gather their composure and fire off a simultaneous shot at you with 3 heavy crossbows. Get advantage, but it's just they only get 1 attack on range, so 3 shots. You ready, Farron?
Let's go. Holy crap.
I'm telling you, don't get credit.
It should be noted they had the same 2-hit roll with their crossbows as they do with their maces. I just rolled exceptionally well.
I now hate you.
I mean, to be fair, just blame Morella.
She is the root of all
You
evil.
jinxed me, Morella.
Did. So that's what, 23 damage? You're
Maybe
fine,
for
Farron.
that, silly little harlot.
You have, like, all of your spells left. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
However, possibly the most important for the outcome of this fight, Farron, while you're acting as a distraction, is the 2 attacks on Kree. They do not have advantage, though, because he's the only one attacking you.
Awesome.
And they both whiff gratuitously.
Yeah.
Gratuitous misses.
I'm gonna kick him in the knee while he falls over.
Yeah, he actually hits himself. It's fine.
Perfect.
No big deal.
He, like, overswings and throws his arm out of socket. Sickening crunch. Fantastic. That is the extent of their turn. So we move on to Dane. So Dane has an opportunity to help someone here.
No, he's not. He's going to fire.
Good. 1 damage for the win.
He's going to have to make a con save if it hits.
Okay, 5% chance. I mean, anything is possible, right? You gotta hit.
This will also be the single greatest highlight of this entire siege if it works.
What? Oh shit! Sorry, didn't mean to do that one. I meant to do the.
God damn, Dane has seriously increased his firepower since last we saw it.
Damn.
I saw. I meant to short, bro. But no, it's fine. This works.
Do you want him to go up and stab him?
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
But it's not poisoned.
Rip game.
So yeah, I think Dane flies up like invisible, right? appears in front of this creature's eye, and we get the question mark over the head for a moment, and then Dane just like stabs him like right in the eye with his little needle poker, and the beast kind of like screams and like scratches at his face. He takes 1 damage. Hilariously, that put him at a very exact amount of health, which is funny. I won't tell you how much, but it's pretty. I'll tell you afterwards. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, Dane is able to do that. Congratulations, Dane. You've officially done more damage, I think, than Kira and Malia, because I don't think they've attacked yet.
They have. And they
okay, did they? Okay, good.
They did pretty well, yeah.
That's true. They both get 2 attacks. They're actually pretty beastly.
God, I did not. I completely forgot I made that image.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you.
So that brings us to Dane's turn. So now it's Daniela's on the turn order, but it's all of the NPCs, right? It's Kira, Malia, and Daniela. So since we're up here, let's go ahead and go with Kira, Malia. Malia took a big hit last time, but she still could sustain another one like that if she wanted to. Do they attack? Do they go for blood here? Or do they defend? Or do they do one of each? What do you think?
As their owner, I think that
again,
Kira should attack, Malia should dodge.
And what does the actual controller of them say?
Given the let's see, it's not. Yeah, the creature isn't prone or anything, right? It's just
it's actually fully standing. Morella was not able to knock it down this turn.
No, I think they are just going to continue providing Hannibal with meat shield and dodge.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Cool. So they dodge it up and prepare for the creature's onslaught, of which has been pretty simplistic so far. So they should be fine with that. And so
you say things.
Daniela has an opportunity in this moment to prepare or do something or act in some way to ready herself, being not embroiled in direct conflict right now. What do you think, Aelin?
I mean, leadership seems like a good idea, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But I have a question.
About what?
It's pretty strong ability.
Go on.
If
Ask away.
if she uses it, are we close enough to her? I know the people who are behind her would be close enough.
Sure, yeah. We've been playing a little more abstracted.
That's what I figured. Okay.
So yeah, I think she could use her. Oh, that is Sergeant Bridget Dashhound. That is not Daniela. That's why I was so confused.
Oh snap! She's here too. Yes.
Yeah.
We're saved.
We're saved.
Yeah.
Do I own her as well?
No.
You can't own people.
Stop it.
Show me the law. I still haven't been sent it yet. No one's shown it to me, and I will not believe it until I see it.
Which country?
So basically, what it is just a D4 on
yeah, it's
attack
like
or saving throws in the next minute, but obviously the minute part we would have to.
Yeah.
Also.
But
basically, she scouts the guys who are coming up, and maybe.
Yeah, she can certainly provide that for you guys. You it basically is like bless, right? On the
yeah, more or less.
on you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Cool.
So she leadership.
BT does.
Actually,
Daddies are coming.
maybe this is like a flashback scene where like the three of you are like, okay, that's the best. Like we just have to wait now. And she gave you some inspiring speech, like some sermon that she memorized or some battle hymn that kind of got your blood flowing, Aelin and Jericho. While you don't follow Shalia specifically, you can identify with like the vigor,
Appreciate
the zeal,
the verse.
Yeah, the zeal that is given behind Danielle. You at least know. Maybe yours is more like, if I'm in a sticky situation, I know Daniela's got my back, right? Like that's your representation of the leadership in this scenario. Cool. Yeah, I think that's great. So the skates get to go. I actually don't even know why they're on this turn order. I've just been abstracting them anyway, so I'm just gonna go. It's silly. Oh, I remember why they're on the turn order, so I can actually like roll for them to do something. I've been rolling to see how well they're they're faring against trying to scale the walls. Let me do that. Creatures, humanoid. Yard demand. They've been using their athletics. Okay, they're doing better. I think that last I had described it, a couple of them had ascended the walls, but most of them were getting like thrown off or not being able to find handholds. But I think a couple more have now made it up to the walls and have begun fighting in earnest with some of the archers. So it takes the pressure off the people on the ground a little bit more. Obviously, the true way to relieve pressure is going to be to get that gate open, but until that can happen, it's still kind of a slogged battle for there. Which brings us to Jericho, and I'm kind of having these individuals act on like the start of the turn order, because that's when I introduced them. So I think that you see them all arrive at the barricades. Before you address them, do you wait for them to like come beyond the barricades? You can see they pause for a moment at the edge of the barricades and are kind of like inspecting it, and now you can see their contingents as well. There's, you know, maybe 5 or 10 skeletons in the mix. There appears to be like a large patchworky, like 7-foot tall gargantuan beast thing. Not dissimilar to the golem thing that you saw the other night. Maybe a little bit more. It looks a little bit more advanced than that, I think would be the description that I would give it.
Okay.
And then there's like a couple of zombies and those ghoulish creatures that like the woman is like, she's like probably like petting the head of one of them as they approach. Like you see like it's kind of like nervous and its tongue is hanging out and its eyes are kind of darting back and forth.
Right.
And they approach, you can address them, like step out from behind something and address them. But they can see the scene now that you've kind of arrayed before them.
Okay. Yeah, I think in his necromancer disguise, he's going to be doing his best to sell the scene. So he's just stalking among the supposed bodies, glaring down at them, inspecting things, occasionally poking them, or part of the fake circle, as if trying to work out what might be going on here, and will pretend to have not noticed their presence yet.
Yeah, so I think the gnome, like, so the gnome is the one that has the like big hulking dude, is the one that's following her. And so I think that you see out of the corner of your eye, you see the big hulking dude like reach both of his hands down, and the gnome like steps into them, and he like the big hulking patchwork guy like lifts her up over the barricade so she can see things. And she goes,
"Okay.
Hey, what are you doing over there?"
Oh, let's see. Stragglers at last. Doing an excellent job of taking care of this portion of the city, I see. Nothing slips past you?
No, we just heard the noise. About the energies coming from over here. What was going on?
Truly magnificent. Well, that's what I'm working out, isn't it? Rebel priests of some kind trying to perform some kind of ritual spell within the walls of the city. Spectacularly done catching it. Where are the patrols for this area?
Yeah, I think like the three of them kind of look at each other and then they kind of like look back at you like, who are you to be telling us what to do? So why don't you go ahead and roll me a deception check just to prove you're one of them. It's not going to be particularly hard in this scenario, but it might get progressively harder the longer the deception goes on.
Inspiration, you say?
Sure. Seems like a good use for it.
Didn't need it.
25. Yeah, nice. So I think they kind of look at each other and they kind of, you could tell they're still like apprehensive, but they don't suspect you for an enemy at this point.
Interesting as well. They don't seem to have any recognition of me either.
Yeah, so I mean that's the deal with this particular setup of the army, and you guys have kind of discovered this as well. A lot of it operates really independently of one another and doesn't really know what the left hand's doing with the right hand. So I think that we see like the big hulking patchwork guy, he like steps over the barricades and probably like into like a small puddle of water, and you can see he like lifts up his boot and kind of like shakes it slowly, like he's trying to shake it off, but his movements aren't quite quick enough. I think we see the gnome just like slap him in the head and tell it like point forward to go march forward. We see the Norse. You could tell like he's like probably a necro shaman. He's got like painting and markings on his face, and he's got like a staff and a book under one arm, and he's kind of like walking, and the skeletons and such follow him. And I think we see the woman. She turns back around to look out into the city, like towards where you are, Aelin. And Aelin, why don't you go and roll me a perception check real quick? Maybe.
She's not listening. No, there she is.
Okay. So, yeah, you're a woof. You don't notice. She turns around and she looks like she's like kind of standing guard and like observing the scene, which could be good or bad, right? She doesn't look like she's made any paid any attention to like your location, because you're kind of like hidden back behind some buildings and some outcroppings. But it, you know, it may be bad or good depending on what's going on there.
Great, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I always have you do wisdom stuff, and then you always like bomb it for whatever reason. I don't understand.
I know, and then I roll something. I have like a -1, and then I get
and you get like
a 20, and I'm like,
exactly.
What the?
That's always how it happens with you, apparently.
It's fine.
Good things to know. Okay.
So, in the situation here, Jericho, should it like turn for the worse on any of the other people's turns,
yeah,
you would get a full-on surprise round because your deception check.
Beautiful.
You get a full-on turn to like just nuke one of them or get one of them, remove one of them from existence before they get the chance to react.
Sounds like a great time.
Good.
Okay.
So we move up to the Avatar again. Now he's addressing you, Morella, as a bit of a concern. Kira and Malia they're still kind of being like puny ants to him. But now his attention is split. Also he's kind of like blinking, and his eye is like kind of swollen up a little bit because Dane poked him. What is he gonna do? So I think that
try something.
Yeah, so I think that what he's going to do is
he's got wings.
So the wall that the ice wall that kind of blocked you all in from the gate, you see it begin to crack and crumble, and it kind of shatters, and there's like a bunch of melting ice. And you see the creature, he holds up his gauntleted fist, and you can see like forming, kind of swirling around it.
I have my rod out, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of swirling around it, he releases up into the air, and it forms a barrier that starts up top and then comes crashing down. And what he has formed here is a dome that exists with Morella and Kira and Malia on the inside, and Hannibal, you on the outside. But Dane is still inside, just FYI.
Little bitch.
Yeah, and so I think that like this crashes down around, and it's opaque. You can see like shadowy movements through the ice. And Morella, it kind of goes dark, and the chill like washes over you from this. I didn't actually put this ability in here, but he's got this ability called Ice Wall, which is super cool, where he can create like a 20-foot dome of ice that he can encase himself in, basically. So that's what his action is going to be. And I think he turns to you, Morella, and he says, "Now that we are alone, young woman, I will show you what I am truly." And he raises to attack you, but that was his action to cast this spell. So, and wait, hold on, I gotta find.
Man, I was
Roll
prepared
20.
to take like a lot of damage, but you know,
Roll 20.
that's just a big ass nuisance. That big ass fucking dome thing.
Don't worry, I got something.
Why roll 20? Why do you not just have an igloo that I can put over the top of them? God damn it. Okay, fine. no igloo for you. I'll find one later, maybe.
Sweet.
So that brings us to Aelin. Now, Aelin, since you, well, tell me what you think you would do here.
So I think, Aelin looked out towards the city, trying to follow where she was looking to try to perceive possibly what she was doing, and couldn't. So then I think Aelin's going to look at her face more intently to try to determine her true intentions from her body instead of from the environment.
Cool. Yeah, roll an insight check. I assume that's where you're going here.
Correct.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
I'm going to use inspiration.
Hey.
Good.
Damn it!
A 15 is
Still
good
not
enough.
great.
So you can actually see that she has positioned herself in such a way that she looks like she's gazing out. But I think what you realize that her body is stiff and almost motionless. And you can see that she's kind of like muttering under her breath, and her eyes are kind of glassed over. But I also need you to roll me a stealth check.
Damn it. I should have saved my inspiration.
This is the unfortunate part about you not seeing what was going on here.
Yep, sounds about right.
Okay. So... Oh my god.
Yes! I am saved.
Wow.
Hype.
Wow.
Remember,
Holy
folks,
shit.
Clank and Clank armor is actually very stealthy.
That natural one, though.
I am
That's-
still invisible.
Yeah, that's critical. That's super critical. So I think that, like, you now realize that she's doing something. Like, maybe it's a spell that she's casting, maybe it's some sort of, like quirk that she has, maybe. But you will certainly have an opportunity to avoid the badness again on a future turn. Hopefully.
Okay.
I thought for sure Jericho was gonna get to use that surprise round.
I just picture Aelin just like hiding behind a single twig, and yet she looks like
Yeah.
faster.
You're
just,
like
still not.
you're like hiding behind the lamppost, right?
Or I'm just hiding, but I just emanate light all the time. So like you can just see this like a halo of light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accurate.
It's fine though. I'm still hidden. It's good. It's all good.
Accurate. Yeah, no, that's clutch right there. Farron, how are you faring?
Yes. So I
Thank
think
you, Jackson.
first-
Jesus Christ, people. That was so on point.
Get out.
To be fair, I'm drunk, so
Whatever.
that joke probably wasn't really good.
I healed over 10.
Oh my
Did you
god,
see
it's
that?
amazing.
Still not as much as me.
Is that a third level spell, Farron?
Maybe.
Also, Aelin is still not there to see it, so it's fine.
Yeah, right. Lel is the correct
I mean,
terminology here.
I'm still better.
So, you like pull a crossbow bolt out of your shoulder, and like the wound heals over as you do that. You still have your action. There's still two dudes. One of them is like really injured, standing right next to you. And then the other one appears to be fine, and then there's the 3 crossbow guys.
Yeah, I'm first attack on the injured dude.
12. Yeah. No, I think that like you just like
Oh,
you
crap.
do that thing where you grab his shoulder and pull him close to you as your rapier like goes directly into his gut, and then you just like slide him off, and he's dead, man.
Yeah.
Dunsies.
And then let's inflict a bit more damage on the other dude as well.
Okay. So you spin around and you begin to like his mace. You can't like block his mace, right? Because you just have a rapier. That's not going to do anything. But as you like,
My shield's equipped. So.
yeah, you're pushing him back with your rapier shots, right? He's having to like dance around, and he's getting like little nicks and cuts, but he's not injured yet. but you certainly have him on the ropes. The cool thing about him now is he won't get advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the big key here by killing his friend.
definitely.
So cool. Moving on. So your spirit rats, 3.
Yes.
You have 8 of them, and there are 5 targets in the room. So cool news. They have pack tactics. So they get advantage on their attacks. So, doing the math, how would you assign them out? There's 1 guy in melee with you, 1 guy in melee with Farron, and 3 range guys.
I would have all of them, but 1 go onto the range guys, and then 1 come and help me out. I know
Okay.
Farron has this shit.
So like 2, 2, 3 on the range guys, and then 1 on you. Okay, cool. Farron's got his shit unlocked, right? You don't need to help him.
Yep.
All right, 2, 2, and 3. That's how we'll roll it up then. Giant Ratos, they all get advantage. So, first 2. Yep, 2 hits, 8 damage. Okay, so the first guy's injured. Second 2. 2 hits, 11 damage. The second guy is injured. And now they're going to have to deal with these 2, right? Because they can't really shoot out of this. That's the important thing. And then 3 attacks for the last one. 3 low damage, 9. Okay, so all 3 range dudes are injured at this point. And then you said 1 on your guy, right?
Yes.
Ooh, nice. Had you hit this guy already?
I think so. I think I hit him once.
Yeah, I think you had hit him once. I think that rolling max damage there, I think you see the spirit rat just like leaps and like grabs onto the guy's neck, and he's like trying to like claw it off, but his hands are just passing through like the smoky substance that it's made out of.
Rats.
Yeah. And your spirit, I think he like falls to the ground. He's like rolling around. He's essentially out of commission.
Perfect. I love my rats.
Excellent. So, what about Noct?
Noct is going to continue being knocked and charging the archers on the wall. He needs to help his friends get up.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a good roll.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, so I think that he, again, we see the scene Noct is just creating. Now, Noct is probably taking a couple of hits here. Maybe determine that. Maybe I should have been rolling for them. But he's probably lost like 10 health. Just like charging through and getting hit with a couple maces and shot a couple times. Not a significant amount. And yeah, so he's slowly working his way through. Oh my gosh. Okay, Kat, do you want up here? Do you want to come up and say hi? Jesus. Why have you never learned to jump? Ever. I apologize. I have a catastrophe going on.
Catastrophe.
Perfect.
Yeah, so Noct is just, tossing people left and right and being an overall badass.
As he tends to do.
As he tends to do, correct. So, moving right along, Hannibal D. Solomon, you are standing outside of this ice barrier this creature has erected between you and it.
Not for long. I take out my dagger and I stab myself in the leg.
Good.
And I trigger Misty's death.
Okay. Roll your damage. You can hit yourself. I'm not gonna make you roll to hit, but roll the dagger attack to see how much damage you deal to yourself.
It's a
I don't know,
D4 plus my dex, right?
Yeah, D4 plus your dex, yes.
I'll just roll D4 because I have no dex.
Perfect. Roll
But I
the
don't
strength.
think I'm going to miss.
I guess you can choose to use finesse.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Maximum damage. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're like impale your leg.
He had to make sure.
And I trigger Misty's step. Because I can
Okay.
trigger that in a reaction to damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually How about this? I think that we see you disappear from sight. But I think there's like a specific ruling here, something that's going to happen. So why don't we take our break there?
You
Nice.
shit.
And I'll tell you when we come back what might happen, because this is no mere ice wall
Oh boy.
that surrounds him. So
I thought I did a cool thing.
you did, and it might turn into an even cooler thing.
Don't worry, Jackson. I'm
Uh,
about to step up my fucking cool factor real fucking quick.
So
I
let's be
might
back
just
at
outshine you.
5 after, everyone.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, see you.
Right.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the first half. I'm gonna put up the break screen here, and we're going to go into the second half in just a moment. Stay tuned.